Yeah. I think it's.
Vancouver, Edmonton?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Just finished watching Montreal. They lost again.
Oh, dude. This is like the worst hockey game because both teams can't lose. Both teams to lose.
Yeah, well, in a Vancouver against Edmonton, I'll typically cheer for Edmonton. Actually, I don't.
Cheer's a wild word. There's a more.
You have to understand, I'm not from Calgary, so
know.
I have no allegiance to the team here whatsoever.
Right.
So, when people hear that I'm actually cheering for Edmonton for any game, they just kind of look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's
Right.
like, not from here. Yeah, but
Yeah,
no.
Oh,
Just
you've been
because you
here.
move to a city doesn't mean you have to suddenly cheer for that city's team. But, whatever. Whatever.
No, you're wrong. You're
The
far
team
between.
that's actually impressing me right now is Winnipeg. They won again. I think they've lost one game.
It's like their last year too.
Jeez.
Last year they played like this too, and then shot the bed. God, I hate Edmonton. I also fucking hate Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the disdain for Vancouver comes more from the fan base than it does from anything
Right.
else.
Right.
Such a horrible hockey city. They burnt their own city down when they won. They're
I know.
fucking
I
retarded,
know.
dude.
I know.
But I will cheer against any team playing against Edmonton.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, man. Stanley Cup playoffs were the most satisfying thing in the world last year. Holy God, did that feel good. Watching them get behind and then almost pull it off and then lose. Game 7. Such an emotional loss. Fueled me for weeks. Our game was on at such a stupid time today. I hate afternoon games. The Calgary Buffalo game was at 1 o'clock or some shit this afternoon.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
were a couple afternoon games
So dumb.
today. Who won? Buffalo?
Buffalo in
Yeah.
a shootout though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Calgary would have won if they would have showed up for the first period, which is really a problem for them right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they came back. They were down 2-0 at the beginning of the third. They came back again. They just finished a 3-game road trip and got 3-game, 4-game. I don't know, but they got points in every game, which is impressive for a team that's supposed to be rebuilding.
Yeah, speaking of teams that are rebuilding, my team, I don't really expect a lot from them this year, and I certainly wasn't expecting much from them after, some of their players got injured in training camp, for crying out loud.
Oh man, those are old bones, eh?
Yeah. So, but in the meantime, there are some up and coming players that have been drafted by Montreal
That are in the minors?
that are in the minors, or in one instance, kids playing for St. Petersburg in the Russian league.
Oh yeah.
And this kid just, everyone is criticizing the coach because he won't play him for a full game.
Oh.
He's holding him back.
Oh, interesting.
And a lot of people think it's because they keep offering him an extension on his contract over there.
Oh, so
And he
it's-
keeps saying no
Right.
because he wants to come over. He
Right.
wants to play for the team that drafted him in the NHL. But
So,
the coach,
so he doesn't have a contract with the team.
with Montreal,
Yeah.
no,
Not at all.
not
They've
until
just-
the one with St. Petersburg lapses.
Okay.
But this kid looks like he's going to be something else.
I was indifferent about Montreal until their run, and that was pretty exciting. Like the flukiest run that ever existed, but
Yeah.
it was wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
So there's some love there, and it would be nice to see them pull it out. Any team that can fuck over Toronto is A-OK in my book. A-OK
And Boston
And Boston, yeah.
are two arch rivals
Right.
for always and forever.
Yeah. That's so cool, though, that there's 3 original 6 teams that are just hate each other. It's like for 100 and...
Oh yeah,
It's so
it'll
cool,
never
dude.
end.
It'll never end. But that's funny. I wonder why. I guess just because Boston's dirty, and I've always, lived in existence for so long being dirty.
Well, I mean, it's not true anymore, but back in the day when Montreal was having its heyday, when it was having its
The
dynasty times,
Yeah.
Boston on paper looked like they were gonna take Montreal to task,
Right.
and they would lose in the clinch every time. Like Montreal would just sort of go, "Oh, watch this."
Right.
It's
Right,
just
right.
drive the fans and the coach of the team just absolutely bonkers.
Huh.
Back when Cherry used to coach, he would just lose his mind at how Montreal would just be able to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Right.
Boston would have the momentum, and Montreal would just be like, "Nope."
Then the fucking frogs show up and
Nope.
just... That's enough of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that, because that's it. It's over.
Well, Boston would have had to have beaten them, or it wouldn't be a rivalry. If it's one
Oh
side,
yeah,
then it's not a
during
rivalry.
the season, they
But-
would win. But
they
then
never
come
beat
playoffs,
them. But they never beat them for a cup.
no. Well,
Probably the
I
amount
don't
of times that Montreal's been to the
so.
finals.
I think when Boston won, they always beat someone else.
Let's go. Montreal, Boston, Stanley Cup Finals. 1930, Canadians won. 1946, Canadians won. 53, Canadians won. 57, Canadians won. 58, Canadians won.
Against Boston.
Yeah. 68 Canadians won. 71 Canadians won. And that was the last one. Yes, Boston has not beat them in the Stanley Cup Finals.
So
Wow.
yeah,
That would make you very mad.
yeah, exactly.
Fucking funny. That was just the Stanley Cup. There was a whole bunch of semifinals in there too. I didn't read those, but
Yeah. But nothing beats the rivalry between Montreal and Toronto, because as good as even Toronto has been lately, they still haven't won the cup. And they haven't won it since '67.
that's all right.
And the memes, even before there were memes, was like, yeah, I remember horse and buggy the last time they paraded through downtown Toronto. It's like,
Man, that's a long time for the league's most
the
important.
arena
team.
was lit by candlelight, for Christ's
Yeah,
sake.
yeah. They lit the
Gas
arena
lamps.
with candlelight and mirrors. They were really excited about their 400 lumens. Oh man, they're so fun to watch.
Oh,
Lose.
like the ultimate.
And I have, again, unlike you, I have no investment of disliking Toronto.
Right. It's
Other
just,
than just the saturation of media. It's like, they're not the only team. Like, they're not that good. They've never, not that they've never been that good, but they haven't been that good since '67.
and that's what drives people who live in Eastern Canada bonkers
Yeah.
because the control over what game you're going to see on broadcast is wild. If you live, anywhere west of a certain dividing line in Ontario, you're never going to see a Habs game on a Saturday night unless they're playing Toronto.
Right. Yeah.
It's Leafs, 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 and it always has been, and it always will be. What really ticks people who aren't Toronto fans off is that the only way to watch another team play on a Saturday night, or any night for that matter, is to pay hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
to get some kind of a sports channel.
Yeah.
But this $300 nonsense is...
And still
mean-
have restrictions.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gets me.
Like if it was wide open, okay, fine.
Yeah, $300 to watch every
Everything.
game by every team. Yeah. But it's not. It's horseshit.
It's nuts. And more and more people that I've spoken to have been like, so when's the last time you were at an actual game? I'm never going to a game again for what they want for tickets.
Yeah. Not in this country.
No.
No. Go see the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
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 Cheap.
Or, more and more people are watching like a non-NHL team instead.
Yep.
Because the tickets are way more reasonable.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Like if I was home, fuck, the Laval Rocket, Montreal's farm team, please.
Yeah.
I'd be at every one.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy season tickets.
Yeah, same thing with Calgary's farm team. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a rare situation here where our farm team is in town, like Montreal's.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. Well, Laval and Montreal are.
Yeah.
They're kissing.
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did something I've never done before.
It's sex with a dude.
No. And for some people listening to this, they'd probably be like, whatever. I've done that 10 times. I have never changed phone providers,
Okay.
ever, till a few months ago,
Okay.
a month or so ago. And yeah, it was a long time coming. I should have probably not listened to all the naysayers who were dissing the brand that I was planning to switch to,
Sure.
because as it turns out, they've been fine.
Right.
I don't know what kind of problems. I think some people just don't know how to set up their phones properly when you're with a provider that you only get to use their network in a metropolitan area. Otherwise, you're roaming
Yeah.
with a nationwide partner. Because even out in Airdrie, I've got signal, no problem.
On the carrier?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So they extended their network out to.
Oh, God,
Airdrie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm with Freedom now.
Right.
Yeah. And what sold it for me was not only their price, which is very reasonable, but also the fact that there's absolutely no cost to roam into the States. None. None. You're in the States, carry on.
Right.
Yep. No more fucking roaming charges, nothing.
Weird phone calls that you gotta make, or
Nah, nothing.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you forgot to set up roaming, and now your fucking bill's
fucking
$1,400.
Fido was like $12 a day
Yeah, it's
to roam in the States.
Yeah. Cool.
And then what I did for Darlene, because she has no use for data on her phone at all, so I got her the cheapest Freedom plan you can get.
Oh yeah.
It's like $5.
Oh yeah. Sweet. Yeah.
You get 2 hours of talk, unlimited text, and basically that much data,
Right.
and she doesn't care. It
Right.
hasn't affected her in the least.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And she's like, well, what happens if I run out of my data? I go, it'll just stop working. Okay.
They don't bill you at a rate.
No,
Well, that's nice.
that particular plan is the only one that cuts you off when you've run out of your data.
That's what you want.
All the other plans, you can still have data, but now it's at super slow speeds.
Oh,
So-
they do a reduction in speed?
Yeah.
Oh,
So instead of getting 5G, you'll only get like,
LTE?
yeah, at best. Oh, and I finally said fuck it and got the phone.
Which one?
16.
Oh, you did get a 16?
Yeah.
Oh, was that a
16
12
Pro.
to a 16?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you sell the 12 or is it floating around?
I traded it in.
Oh, you did?
They gave me 300 for it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was actually the clincher for me. Because I thought if I wait another year,
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to probably.
who
Yeah.
knows what they would give me in another year. The fact that they were even willing to give me 300, I was just like, wow.
Yeah, which means there's a market to buy a 12 for a lot more than $300.
Right.
Yeah.
So that helped keep the price somewhat reasonable.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Do you often watch hockey games?
I usually only watch Montreal games
Yeah.
until playoffs. Then I'll watch any Canadian team that's playing, usually. You?
No.
Not really?
No, not at all, actually.
Not at all?
No. No, I realized that the last time Calgary was in the playoffs, that it caused me far too much anxiety. Like the highs were really high and the lows were really low.
Yeah.
And it was just, it wasn't enjoyable. Like it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Huh?
It was nail biting and aggravating, it was just. So what I decided then is that I'd watch highlights and on YouTube. I think I've
Right.
talked about this before, but Sportsnet does every game as a highlight, as a 10-minute highlight,
Right.
11-minute
Right.
highlight of every game.
Yeah.
So I watch those.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I watch every game. So I can watch, 6 games in an hour.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's not anxiety inducing I don't like that. Turns out I don't like that feeling.
Well, given your history, that's not a surprise.
No.
But to think that a game would.
It's the playoffs that did it.
Oh, okay.
It's right, like
Yeah.
a regular season game.
Where it's like, you better win.
Yeah. Yeah, like the playoffs where like it mattered.
Yeah.
But of course it doesn't matter, but it
Right.
mattered in the context
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
you want to continue and there's an emotional investment and all that stuff. But
So how do you, how does your enjoyment of like watching movies, how is it different from,
it's not. It's
There's
not.
no-
I'm fully invested. I'm fully invested to a weird point. Yeah, I suspend all disbelief, which is exciting and fun.
mm-hmm. But that doesn't fuck with your anxiety?
Sometimes it really
Okay.
does. Yeah, sometimes it really does. But then it's over. And like there's no real consequences to it.
Right.
Like as a comparative to say hockey, like there's a consequence to it and then there's a follow-up to it. But a movie, it's just 2 hours of like an emotional roller coaster. But there are movies that I have to turn off, or TV shows that I can't watch. Like I have to turn them off.
Wow.
Yeah, they're upsetting.
Darlene confided in me that like we watched the odd TV show on whatever streaming service, and we usually try to get in like an episode a night or whatever, unless we're just not into it. And we'd be watching a show and something like physical would happen that would be like painful to the
Sure.
character in the show. And she would go, "Don't you feel that?" And I go, "Feel what?" She goes, "Doesn't that like give you like a visceral reaction. And I'm like, nope. And she's like, really? And I'm like, nope, nothing. She goes, how can that be? And I go, well, I guess it's the realizing that it's not real, that I'm not overly bothered by. I know it's just it's a trick. You're not really, carving up that person or whatever is happening on the screen. So I find it actually kind of funny. I find it entertaining because they make it look real, but at the same time, it's not real. But with her, she just if they're doing something with somebody's gut, she'll be like, she goes, it's like I can feel it. It's like I feel the discomfort, the nausea, the anxiety. And I'm like, wow.
I do if
Not
it's
me.
realistic.
Right.
Like if it's a plausible situation that a person's going to find themselves in, but like a serial killer chopping people up or whatever,
Right.
that's just fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, such a thing has existed, but it just...
Yeah.
But if, car accidents, I'll feel that. But emotional turmoil, I really will. Like if there's abuse or maybe not a fight. I don't feel those because those are so choreographed and ridiculous. But the more real they are, certainly the more I feel it. But yeah, I don't. That's interesting.
I do have a problem when the programming overdoes the violence or the gore. Like it's just never ending.
Right, it's just gratuitous.
It just keeps going and going
Yeah.
and going and going, and it doesn't stop. Doesn't give you a chance to kind of, And Darlene couldn't believe that I reacted this way in this particular instance too, because we were watching. I don't know if you ever saw the movie The Passion of the Christ.
No.
We watched that movie together, and at the end of it, I was just like, she was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "That was awful." And she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was too much." And she goes, "But that's how it was." And I go, "I don't care. It was too much. It was like torture porn for me." And I said, and I'm not really into that in the first place. I'm not, I don't get pleasure of any kind at all from the idea of torture, even, to bad people. So to having had to watch that, and it just keep going on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
I said that was hard for me.
Right.
I felt it was too much, and I didn't think that it had to be like that. And she goes, "Well, they were trying to be accurate." And I go, "I get that. I understand. I'm not arguing against the accuracy. I'm not arguing against what they were attempting to do. I just found that it was just too much.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
a
was
common
not
complaint.
enjoyable at all.
That was a common complaint about that movie.
It was not enjoyable at all. Unfortunately, we have been conditioned to movies where even when bad things happen, it always ends up okay at the end. And of course, we all know that it's kind of hard to, wrangle that little device into a movie about Jesus's last day on earth, right? But yeah, it was too much. It was too damn much. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she thought it was kind of funny that I had such a reaction to
Sure,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it didn't bother her in the least, which I found annoying because she's the goddamn empath.
Right. Right.
And here it was bothering the crap out of me.
Yeah. Well,
which
she was able
raised
to
a few
separate and
questions.
realize that it wasn't real either. It was fiction
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And what's interesting is that I knew it wasn't real either.
Right. It
There
just was relentless.
something about it
Yeah, it's just
that
relentless.
just
and-
rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, okay, I get it, guys.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, they
Oh, they got
fucked
him.
with
Oh.
him for the whole time that they had him. You know, from the time they took him to the time that they hung him up on the cross and stuff. But holy shit, did we have to see all of it? Like every last minute of it? It seemed. Hopefully not, but I guess we did. Yeah, it's crazy. I still have surprised myself at how bad of a reaction I had to that.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there some like weird childhood religious
Who knows?
guilt maybe coming
Who
in there?
knows?
Just like,
Who
oh,
knows?
Jesus, that's my buddy.
Yeah.
He's getting fucked right up.
Officially, no, not really.
Yeah, but who knows, right? Yeah,
But who knows?
Yeah, I get it.
I'm trying to finish a book. It's an okay book, but not so fantastic that I'm motivated to read.
To watch the pages go by. Yeah.
I'm not motivated to read the next installments in the series.
Okay.
But there's a couple of titles that kind of have me intrigued. Of course, I didn't write them down, but I actually did write them down. They're just not written down on my phone.
How big's that monitor? 30?
Yeah, I think it's a 31.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah. I'm going to have ChatGPT explain the synopsis of the book.
Oh, okay.
Give me a brief synopsis, like less than a minute, of the book Inherit the Stars by James P. Hogan.
Inherit the Stars kicks off with the discovery of a 50,000-year-old human skeleton on the moon, wearing a spacesuit. This mind-boggling find throws our understanding of human history into chaos. Scientists race to unravel the mystery, leading to revelations about alien civilizations and humanity's origins. It's a fascinating blend of hard science fiction and mystery, exploring big questions about our place in the universe.
And it is also the first book in a series. So that sort of synopsis kind of had me going, okay. And a lot of really good reviews.
Yeah.
Very few bad reviews.
Yeah.
And
It's a pretty classic cover of a science fiction book. Like I can see when she was explaining, I'm like, oh, I've seen that cover.
yeah,
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
spacesuit with a skeleton.
yeah, on the surface of the moon.
Yeah, super creepy
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I think I'll give that a try.
Right. Just doesn't quite deliver. The book doesn't quite deliver.
No?
I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't started yet.
Oh, I thought that's the one that you had
That's
started.
the next one. That's
Oh,
the next one
okay.
that I'm going to be reading as
Got
soon
it.
as I finish the one that I'm almost at the end of now.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I had a couple did not finishes in the last little while
Oh yeah.
that have
Oh, you just
sort of
gave
taken
up
the
on
wind
them.
out of my sails. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm on one now that I'm waffling on if I'm going to finish it or not. I'm reading the Pelican Brief.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, it's just a good old dad book, right?
Right.
So I'm just, it's just slow and the characters are,
You ever seen the movie?
I don't
Okay.
think so. Like reading the book, nothing's really stands out
Okay.
to be familiar. Because if I had, I probably wouldn't be reading the book. If it seemed familiar, I would have just ditched it. Yeah, it's slow to go. All the characters are really dislikable, so it's hard to be motivated to want to pick it up and just keep going. But I almost gave up on it yesterday, I think. And whenever I'm reading a book that I think I don't like, I'll always Google title of the book sucks Reddit. And I'm just like, are there people on my side here?
I've never read book reviews on Reddit yet.
Oh yeah.
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 I usually look at Goodreads
Yeah.
because at least the people that are reviewing books on Goodreads are book readers.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
Oh, okay.
I like normal people.
Got it.
It's yeah. Just,
Or
I guess
it's
that
just too
verbosity
formulaic or
it just doesn't interest me. Like I
Right.
don't care. Like
Right.
it sucks because X,
right.
not X, Y, Z, and this. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Like okay, I don't want a fucking
A book
essay
snob
on it. I don't.
review.
Yeah, I don't need
yeah.
a book report. I just this book kind of sucks because it's slow and then
Right.
it's unsatisfying.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. This is how I'm feeling about this book, and then because that's what I was finding with this one, but there was lots mixed in and going. Well, it's read so often for a reason. It's a good book.
Mhm.
You just got to get through the first bit, and then it starts to ticking and moving. I'm like, okay, all right, fine, fuck
Mhm.
you. I'll give it another 100 pages or so. It's short. It's like only like 350 pages or something, so it's not long.
Right.
So whatever. But,
Have you ever read the book Rendezvous with Rama?
yeah, yes.
What did you
Uh,
think of it?
You have to remind me. Is that the one with the weird spaceship with the weird fucking spiders in it? and
Yeah.
shit? Yeah. We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
You know they're finally making a movie about it, eh?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I want to see if they can do it justice.
They won't.
I mean, I know it would be very hard, especially with that story. But I want to see if they can capture that same sense of wonder. Because that was the thing that really stuck with me
I
about
find
that
it
book.
fascinating that you have that thought, because it's impossible, Carl.
Oh,
Like,
I realized that.
Then why are you excited and interested? Because it's only gonna be dissatisfying.
I don't know. It depends on what aspect of the story they focus on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
there's like
What's the piece
three-
that talked to you? And
Yeah, like-
yeah.
because the thing that really stuck with it, and I haven't read that book in a long fucking time. In fact, I read all the books. But the thing that really stuck with me is that as I was reading the story, once they got inside that fucking ship,
Yep.
it was just like, what the hell is this thing? And,
Yeah.
you know, you'd think, oh, well, they're going to figure it out sooner or later, but they didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they will in the movie.
They left that ship having more questions than answers to
But
questions.
they won't do that in the movie. They
No,
won't.
I don't know.
They won't do that in the movie. That's not how movies are made. That's not how movies are made.
Well, I've got a little bit of faith that Denis Villeneuve, of all of the people, can pull it off, because
I
I
don't know
did
what that
like
is.
his treatment of Dune.
Oh, that's
I
the guy. Yeah.
really liked how he handled that.
Yeah, but okay. So the question is are the movies signed up for? Like, are there multiple movies?
We don't know.
Oh, well then.
We don't know. All I know is he is so serious about this movie that he keeps saying it's lined up, but I got to get this done first.
Sure.
I'm not rushing to get this one done. I gotta get all my ducks in a row. I gotta dot all my I's, cross all my T's,
Yeah.
and then when I'm satisfied that all is wrapped up and tidied away,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna focus on that. And I'm like, that's what we need.
I find it interesting
We
because
need
like
him to focus on that.
it wasn't that good. Like, it was good. He was neat. But like a passion project, like that surprises me. It wasn't that good.
I'm surprised too.
Like,
Especially considering the fact that who had been championing the idea of a movie based on the book since day one. It wasn't him.
right?
It was fucking Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's weird.
He not only did he want the movie made, he wanted to be in it,
Sure.
and he kept trying to shop that idea around, and nobody wanted anything to do with it. Nobody.
Weird.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Denis Villeneuve goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're going to make Rendezvous with Rama." And I was like, "What?
Wow.
Excuse me? Okay, you don't just drop that little nugget there in the middle of a story about Dune or whatever.
Right.
Like, holy shit, man."
Yeah. Huh, that's funny.
And then the next thing you know, all the Rendezvous with Rama fans are just losing their minds because they're just like, "What? They're actually no. It's a hoax."
Oh man, I
Is it
can't
like
wait
April
for the part of
Fool's?
the movie when they're walking up the stairs. For fucking 8 pages. Like, for fuck's sakes. Enough. Oh, wow.
For fuck's sakes. There's so many wrong ways that movie could get made
Right. Right.
that I'm very curious to see the approach that he takes with it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So-
I explained
so
how
that-
I felt after I read the book. It was like half a hand job. It was like, this could be really good. This could be... Oh. That's it?
But I think that
Alright.
was kind of the point. He was setting it up. That was just basically the setup for the next time
Right.
one came through. Because I think in the second movie, another one came through, but it was a different one. And this one had evidence, or actually had stuff going on in it.
Oh, okay. Because I remember reading the first one and it not... Like, it being good enough that I would read the other two.
Mm-hmm.
But reading reviews of it, people were like, it went way off course. 2 and 3 are very different than 1.
Yeah, 3 especially.
Like, there's
You're
just...
right.
It's,
3
right?
just went...
Right, so it's like it just wasn't good. What was good about 1 is not what's good about 2 or 3.
I love a story about first contact.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so of course you love that book. Right, of course.
And, like how unique we are in the universe compared to whatever we're going to come into contact with.
Yeah.
So that was the value of the story for me. Once all the mystery was gone, once all the questions that needed to be answered seemed to be answered, the rest was just like, oh, and by the way, there's this.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, there's also this. And oh, and by the way, and it's like, yeah, but
You didn't need those.
you
by the
didn't
ways.
need that. I was happy when you'd answered all the obvious questions.
Right.
I didn't realize there were more not obvious questions that we needed answered.
Right. Right.
So
So it created more questions. Like, he gave you answers to questions you didn't have. So now
Yeah.
you've got questions.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, why
Yeah.
the hell? What?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it.
So I mean,
Eh.
even if they decide not to go through with anything past the first movie, because based on what we know about the story, it's either going to be really popular, or people are going to go, and they'll
Right.
be like, yeah, okay, that was interesting,
It sounds like they
But-
would do all 3 books in one movie.
maybe.
It kind of seems like it would,
Maybe.
right? Because you can't make a 2.5 hour long movie
Where nothing gets solved.
where nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, you can't make a 2.5 hour fucking.
So at the
Seinfeld
very
movie.
least, it would have to be the first 2 books.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but then you've got the same problem as with the books. The second movie would be the 3rd book, and it would just be too much. You're gonna do all 3 books in one movie, make it 2.5 hours long, and then it might not be
Unless they
dissatisfying.
start taking liberties
Which are
with the end of the story.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
and if they're going to take liberties anywhere, it's probably going to be with the end of the story.
I can't imagine a lot of regular folks would go see that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dune yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I got them both on my.
I think you'll like it.
I don't know why I wouldn't.
I think you'll like it. The only thing that really, the only thing I actually didn't like about those two movies is I wasn't really convinced by the actor choices that they made.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Timothy Chalamet just came across to me as too cute, too
Yeah.
modelly. You know what I mean? He didn't,
What did you think about Kyle MacLachlan? Like in the first movie a million years ago, because he was cute. He was modelly.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
really
fair
have an opinion one way or the other.
enough about that character choice.
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um,
Interesting. I started to. When I lived in Victoria, I would walk to work, and I would listen to audiobooks.
mhm.
And one of the audiobooks I listened to was Dune.
Mm.
One of them was Dune, but I started reading it, and I'm like, I don't fucking remember any of this. So now I don't even know if I read it or not, or listened to it or whatever.
Mhm.
So, like, I want to see the movie, but I also know that I hate.
Movie adaptations.
Unless I've read the book, unless I haven't read the book.
Right.
Right? Like, if I've never read the
Yeah.
book, I can watch the movie,
Right.
that's great.
Right.
But now I can't read the book.
Right.
Like, the book is now gone. And
Otherwise, it would ruin the movie for you.
it ruins the book, or, no, I mean, like, if I've seen the movie,
Uh huh.
I cannot now go read the book.
No.
No. The book is, it's broken.
Oh.
Because I don't. What I like about it is what I like about movies is how much I immerse myself in it,
Mhm.
and I get great
Your brain
joy.
would be too anchored
Oh yeah,
in the comparison.
yeah. Like
right.
those are the characters,
Right.
And like,
And I get it. I mean, I've never read a book after having watched the movie first.
sure.
So,
Like I did it with Lord of the Rings, and I hated that experience.
yeah.
The best part of the Lord of the Rings trilogy was the end of Return of the King, that the whole section with the hobbits at the end,
Mm-hmm.
that was not in the movie. Because I got to enjoy that fully, because I just created the whole thing. But everything else, I'm like, I remember this.
What
I remember this.
What was that missing part with the hobbits?
There was a battle in I almost called it Whoville. That's funny. In the Shire, there was a battle that took place there,
Oh.
and it wasn't in the movie.
Hmm.
At least I don't remember it. So I don't think it happened anyway.
No.
Anyway.
I don't remember a battle in the Shire.
Right. It was at the end. And it was the best part of the book. So I've only done it once and I don't want to do it again. The only book that I've done it otherwise was The Shining, but they're totally different. Like I haven't even seen Ender's Game, the movie. Won't even do it. Because it was such a wonderful book. Like,
It was.
I don't need this. I don't
Yeah.
need this. I don't need to see this. I know what it is. I've already
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
So so that's my debate with Dune. Is like, I'd like to see the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's said to be one of the greatest science fiction books ever written.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what the fuck do I do? So no, I'll probably just watch the movie. For fuck's sakes. Fucking sweatpants wearing Edmontonians. Fucking asshole. assholes. Edmontonians are the kind of people that wear fucking sweatpants and dress shoes. Assholes.
Oh, they're in Vancouver too.
Yeah,
Huh?
that hurts. But like I say, Vancouver fans are the worst, so I don't feel bad. Ah. So it turns out it's a hell of a second period. 3 goals in 6 minutes, 5 minutes. It's so mind-boggling to me. That hand-eye coordination is just so fucking wild.
Yep. There's a young kid who's playing defense in Montreal now. His name is Lane Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
He's American, and I really wasn't expecting them to make the team this year because of how young he is.
Sure.
And he's not a big kid either. He's kind of lanky, and but Jesus Christ, this kid. It's like he's got the puck on a string.
As a defenseman.
Yeah.
Huh?
And he's like just out-deaking, senior players, and he's like third in the league for puck possession for a defenseman.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. And the team scouts that are, when they're for teams that are playing against Montreal, are basically like, go ahead, let him tire himself out with the puck or whatever. But yeah, okay, maybe that's a good strategy against that kind of a player, but I mean, he's really like dancing circles around
That's fun.
other players, and amazingly, the coach has a lot of confidence in him. He's playing him a lot in the games, and like then this is what everybody's saying is it's only his first goddamn season,
Right.
and he's already showing, this much promise, and learning all the hard lessons.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every time the press talk to him and go, "Hey, so it must really suck to be losing this much, eh?" And he's like, "Can't believe I do this for a living.
Right.
It's fucking amazing."
Right.
He goes, "Yep, it might suck right now, but
It won't.
it won't for much. It won't forever."
Yeah.
So yeah, the kid's got a really good head on his shoulders, and he's got some skills.
Yes.
Oh wow, look at that! Vancouver scored again. The crowd goes wild.
That's a real feel-good goal.
There's actual fires starting in the seats.
Oh my God. They haven't won yet. What the hell's going on? That's such a feel-good goal.
Oh no, sorry, that's not a fire. That's just a giant bong.
Okay, boomer.
I don't know. I thought that was a good stereotype for Vancouver.
It is absolutely one, for sure. Since it's been legalized, though, it's sort of petered out a little bit.
I guess.
Yeah, it really has.
I guess. I think we saw an ad on television, and I wasn't even paying attention. So when it was over, I was like, was that an ad against weed? And Darlene says, no, I think it was an ad against illegal weed.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, tell your dealer to fuck off and shit like that. Yeah. I saw that too.
That's wild.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's really
Like
weird.
if you had said to me, hey, I bet you in about a year or so you're going to see an ad, scolding people for buying illegal drugs versus, doing drugs at all.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. No. But no, here we are.
Man, those drug dealers are stealing the government's money.
Exactly. We could have housing for everybody if it wasn't for
Oh,
all
yeah.
the illegal dope being bought.
Yeah, if it wasn't for snake eyes there.
Snake eyes.
If I'm gonna be a drug dealer, that is absolutely
gonna be the
gonna
name,
my
yeah.
name. Snake Eyes.
Hey man, want to call it Snake Eyes? What's his number? Think about it.
You think about it, man, it's the shortest number. Ever. 2 ones. That's it. Man. What the fuck? How do you know it's him? Oh, he's got this really old Camry. Woo!
No two body part panels are the same color either.
No.
Oh, is that the one with the white trunk? Yep.
Snake Eyes. It's on Prime? What the fuck
Hey,
does
he's
that
the
mean?
one with the dice hanging from the mirror. They're all ones. That's the one.
That's the guy, man.
That would make a good comedy.
What?
An illegal drug dealer trying to make it in an environment where drugs are legal.
Oh, they did that. It's called Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, they really did that.
I guess. Yeah, but
And it was very funny.
but when the shtick started, drugs weren't legal yet.
That's what made it even better.
I guess.
They were really upset when it was legalized.
Yeah.
They went to court and everything.
There's a comedy coming out, I think, in a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be good. It should be good because they're taking a real story and they're dramatizing it, but also making it into a really dark comedy. And it's about, remember that giant maple syrup heist that
I think
happened
it's a
in Quebec?
TV show. I think it's a miniseries.
Yeah,
Not a movie.
Called
yeah.
The Sticky.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks like it's going to be good. I can't wait. Because that story, just by itself, the real story, was mind-boggling.
Yeah, they stole a fucking semi-truck full of fucking syrup.
Yeah, and it was way deeper than that too. That was just what came out on the surface.
Yeah, I had no idea about the story. Because the sensationalized story is just so much more fun.
Well,
They
yeah,
stole syrup. What
but
the fuck are
even
they gonna
the
do with
true,
it?
but even the true story was like, in the end, it was an expose of the fact that the maple syrup industry in Quebec is essentially run by a fucking mafia.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
organized crime. Yeah.
And that, if you're trying to make it on your own as an independent maple syrup producer, forget it.
Right.
They are going to fuck you every which way except sideways to make sure you do not fucking
Right.
get any kind of traction in the industry whatsoever. Especially in the province of Quebec.
Right.
Like you might succeed selling your syrup outside the province,
Chainsaw
but not
in here.
inside.
I wonder what organization did it. Hell's Angels? I guess because they're huge in Quebec, so maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking, or, the Quebec version of the Hells Angels, because they had
Yeah.
they had their own. I forget what they were called. There is a guy on YouTube, and his channel is called Robwords, and he's from the UK.
Yeah.
And he basically talks about the history of the English language.
Okay.
And it's fucking fascinating.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, of course, he will always, do things like explore how various other cultures and civilizations affected the English language, including but not limited to German and Latin and the Nordic languages when they invaded the island and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
and how, especially place names,
Sure.
there's a definite code to the prefixes and the suffixes used in place names. They actually mean something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But this guy was talking about a very brief version of the history of the alphabet. And I found out that, like everybody knows, that at one point in the English language, the U and the V were interchangeable, which was a remnant of the Roman language.
Okay.
And the reason why the W is called a W is because the U and the V were interchangeable. So even though it wasn't a U, it was.
Yeah.
Or how, like, the letter G never came into the English language until the Romans introduced it into their language. But what I found was really interesting was in the 17th century, the letter Z wasn't called Z. Like, you know how you pronounce the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G? It wasn't called Z. It was called Azard.
Azard. Huh. Azard.
So I was joking with my sister earlier today. I was like, yep, from now on, whenever anybody asks me how I spell my name, it's going to be P-L-E-S, Azard. And she goes, oh, I like the sound of that. She goes, people won't know what the hell you're saying. Azard.
Yeah. Z for Azard. What are you, dumb?
You know what hockey rule actually drives me nuts? Okay, you know what two hockey rules drives me nuts?
Which?
Offside
Okay.
and the penalty you get for
Delay
the
again.
puck accidentally going over the boards.
Yep.
It just drives me nuts. Like, I think the game would be a lot more exciting if there was no such thing as offside.
It'd just be cherry picking. It'd be boring.
I don't know.
Well, that's the whole reason why it exists, so you can't cherry pick. You just always have, like, it'd be 3-on-3 hockey, but because there'd be two players on the other zone. Yeah, it'd be boring. I used to, it'd be a different game. It would be a totally different game if a massive rule like offside was taken away. It is like
I still think it would be more exciting.
I think the only one that really drives
the play
me
would have to adapt for sure.
Oh, everything would change.
Mm-hmm.
Everything would change.
But it's such a momentum stealer. Every time, like, sometimes it's just like one offside after another, after another, after another, after another, after another.
Yeah.
It's such a momentum killer.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that.
And that's why I find that, like, when we go into overtime and there's only 3 offensive players on the ice,
Yeah.
it opens up the game dramatically because
Right.
everybody's not rushing to get across the blue line.
Right.
There's actual, there's actual cycling going on using the whole ice.
Yep.
And I mean, they're still trying not to go offside, but it's a lot harder to be offside when there's only 3 offensive players on the ice.
Right. Yeah.
Not impossible, but harder.
I think the only rule I don't like is the shootouts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that like them.
It's such a lousy way to finish
to end a game. I agree.
I don't know what you do to fix it, other than, of course, leaving it as a tie.
Well, what did the women's league did something a little bit different, hey? Did they not?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they opted to change how many points you got depending on...
Win-loss tie.
Yeah.
Or win-loss overtime.
Yeah. Just a sec. In the Professional Women's Hockey League, how are points awarded based on the outcome of a game?
According to Wikipedia,
A 3-2-1-0 point system is used for classification, whereby a team is awarded 3 points for a regulation win, 2 for an overtime or shootout win, and 1 for an overtime or shootout loss.
So if you end regulation in a tie, you're going to get a point regardless.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to get 2 or 1. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you win in overtime, you're going to get 2
Yeah.
points. And if you win in regulation, you get 3 points.
Right.
Oh, and the one rule of theirs that I think is kind of clever,
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether it's going to stay or whether it might catch on with the Canadian or with the men's teams. But when there's a power play,
Yeah.
if you score shorthanded,
Yeah.
the penalty's over.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead, try to score shorthanded because that's one way of nixing the penalty. So it's not just if the other team scores, it's if you score too.
I would have agreed with that rule like 5 years ago.
Right.
But there are so many shorthanded goals now,
I know.
right? Which makes it super exciting. And the other
Yeah.
team is still on a power play. So, like, it's gives them a chance to either catch back up or not. But because there are more shorthanded goals, I don't think that rule is necessary. It's a neat idea, though. Like, you get rewarded for, but you do get rewarded for scoring on a when you're shorthanded. You get a goal.
Yeah.
Those are pretty important.
Yeah.
It's a neat. It is a neat idea. I like the different leagues having different rules. I don't think they all need to be the same.
No.
I like it. Come on, Vancouver. Oh. Is that the super violent women's hockey league? The one that that was only in the East last year, I think. I don't know what league that was that you were just looking at.
The professional women's, the one that just got formed a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like ultra super violent. Like,
Oh, are
they
they?
had real big issues
Yeah?
with it. Yeah.
Oh.
Like crazy violent.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only like 6 teams.
Yeah.
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 It's like Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto,
New York.
New York, Boston, and
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be super exciting out here. I don't know how well it would do, but I think it would be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's apparently quite good hockey, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never seen a game, but enough people talk about it
Mhm.
that it's like, oh, well, no, maybe this is a product that's worth checking out. Because it's not like the WNBA. People talk about the WNBA because it's a joke. Because the play
yeah?
is just atrocious.
Yeah.
And it's just, well, yeah. Yeah, it's just not any good. But they play by the same rules as the NBA. And I think that's the problem. I think
Right.
that's what's special about this women's league is that there are different rules. Like,
Mhm.
I say that it's violent because there are different rules for fighting, for checking, for points, obviously,
Mhm.
for shit like that. It's quite a bit different. I would like to see it out here, but who knows if it's sustainable.
Yeah, well, we should know in a few years. I think attendance has been pretty solid so far, at least,
Yeah,
for the teams that exist.
I'd love to go. I'd love to go to good hockey.
The Montreal team plays at the same arena that the Laval farm team play at,
Oh yeah,
but every once in a while, if there's nothing happening at Montreal's arena, they're allowed to play in that one too.
what's that arena called?
The Bell Center,
Bell Center. That's what it is. Yeah. What was the old barn called?
the Forum.
That's what it was. That's what I was gonna say. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Quite a long time ago.
I've been in that building a few times.
I bet.
The Bell Center, I think I've only been in once.
Oh shit!
Maybe
Really?
twice.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not much.
Well, because I'm out here.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, and I guess the Bell Center's been around for a while, but not like 30 years a while.
No.
No.
Well, almost.
No.
Yeah, I think
Really?
so. I think so.
Maybe.
Think
God.
so. When did the Montreal Canadiens start playing in the Bell Center? 96?
March 16th, 1996.
So,
According to Wikipedia,
almost 30
opened
years.
on March 16th, 1996, it is the home arena of the Montreal Canadiens of the National Hockey League, replacing the Montreal Forum.
Yes, we know. Well, that was, I think, episode 45
Got it.
of a podcast known as Talkbots. Talk.
Talkbots.
Talk.